What's up, YouTube? This is Chris. I'm a hiking enthusiast from Poland, and today I prepared gear loadout video for my last summer trip while hiking Eagle's Nest Trail in south of Poland. So I want to share with you what kind of gear worked for me and what I wasn't very happy with, so you can prepare better for hiking Europe during the summer. So let's go! Okay, let's start from my shelter. So I used the Luncheon One Pro. So it's my first ultralight tent that I used. Before that, I usually try to find Airbnb, so places to stay like hostels, hotels when hiking. But I was a little bit skeptic about this, so decided to actually go safer route and have something cheap. But actually this tent performed great. It was really good option to sleep in the forest, just walk as much as I could. The Luncheon One Pro, the only thing that required seam sealing, so that I had to do before the trip. One thing that I wasn't very happy with was that the tent, when wet, was soaking water. This tent came with the tent stakes that are aluminium, like cheap aluminium tent stakes. Later I replaced that with titanium, which were much lighter and much better. So on top of that, I had my Leki Makulu soft anti-shock carbon poles, actually pole, just one, and I used it as a way to put the tent up. So it's a 120 centimeter trekking pole, and sometimes was not long enough, but I'm gonna prepare a separate video covering all the problems I had when setting up this tent with this trekking pole. This trekking pole was amazing. I love the grip. I love everything about this trekking pole, but I guess I'll have to have a longer one when hiking with the Luncheon One Pro. Next thing is my sleep system. So for this trip, I changed from one big sleeping pad and went with this kind of module system. So one thing was Thermarest Neo Air Uberlight in size small, so it was just for my torso. But on top of that, I had this kind of very cheap, just few euros mat that is quite large. It's just 100 grams, but I can sleep on my belly like a parachuter, just lie flat, and just for my torso use the inflatable pad. Together it actually provides much better sleep. It's much more comfortable than having large inflatable mattress. Together this inflatable mat was 170 grams. This aluminium mat is 100 grams, and together so it's 270 grams. But my previous ultralight pad was around 500-600 grams. So it's huge reduction in the size, but at the same time I sleep much more comfortable with this setup. Okay, next one is my sleeping bag. So I don't use quilt, I use sleeping bag. It's made by Małachowski company, which is a Polish cottage company that makes amazing mountaineering and ultralight gear. It's really soft down. The model I use is Ultralight 300, so in size large. It's just few hundred grams. I think it was 350 grams for this sleeping bag. Also unzips, so it's almost like a quilt. So I can spread it out and use it as a quilt, which is really nice. But when it was cold, I could zip it up, and it was really warm, especially during the autumn. But good thing about this material that is this covers the down, that is very breathable. so I could cover myself and don't sweat as much even during the summer. But for the summer I used this silk liner that was really good. It's actually Decathlon silk liner. It was very cheap. I got it on sale because when they were replacing to different model. But it's allowed me to sleep even very sweaty when it was 30 degrees outside my tent. I could sleep and don't make my my sleeping bag dirty and sweaty, which was really good. Also, this whole thing packs to this kind of small bag, which is just slightly larger than 2 cans of Coke. So amazing, very light and very compact. Okay, next is my backpack. So for this trip I had Salomon Week Out backpack. It's really nice, looks really nice at least. When it comes to packing and being comfortable, I didn't like it that much. It's quite heavy, but at the same time the system that's supposed to provide breathability for your bag didn't really work for me. It opens all the way around, so you can in theory access all the things in the backpack, but unfortunately you have like extra clips you need to unclip, and also when you open it everything almost falls off, so I have to zip it up and then put everything together, so it wasn't very good. Also have lots of clips, attachments here. It was very difficult to simply open it, which I didn't like, so I was a little bit disappointed with this backpack. Good things, those pockets were really nice. I could put really large bottles of water and access them without actually taking the backpack off, which was quite nice. This small pocket was okay. It allowed me to put like really small water bottle, which was okay. But overall I wasn't very happy. Probably I'll be selling this backpack after finishing this video, and I'm going to show you my new backpack that I bought for autumn part of this hike. Okay, next part is what I was wearing on me. So first of all, with the shoes, I had Salomon X Ultra trekking shoes. They were quite light, but unfortunately the sole is amazing. The grip is really good, but for this hike there was not that much rocky parts, so I didn't really needed this kind of sole. Maybe it was if I was going a little bit higher mountains would be different, but they caused me lots of blisters. I was really struggling. I had like anti-blister socks, inner socks, but they didn't help. Still was very difficult to actually walk in them. It was very painful. Even though they were really good size, they had space for my toes, I didn't like them. For the next part I swapped to something else. I had a bag for my waist. Unfortunately also I didn't like it. When I was always putting it on top of the backpack or sometimes taking it off, and by accident I was taking this one off as well. So it's Columbia ultralight bag, but it's nice. I could put some small items here, but actually I preferred to just use the pockets in my backpack. So the backpack had on the belt had like 2 small pockets that were actually much useful. The only thing I couldn't put my phone there. So actually this was much better for my phone, but I used my pockets to keep my phone, so that wasn't a problem. Okay, next thing are my clothes I wore. So maybe let's start from socks. So it was smart wool socks. So I had just 1 pair of those socks. They were really good. They didn't smell. They are 100%. I think they are 100% merino wool with some additional stretchy parts, but really good. I like them a lot. They were quite thick, so they were absorbing the shock, and I didn't have any problems with those. They were really nice socks. I had on top of that they had the inner socks, which Cool Max inner socks to to help prevent from getting blisters. Unfortunately, they smelled after one day. They smelled so bad that I used them maybe half a day, next day, and then I didn't use them at all. Maybe I washed them, but I was so disappointed with those that I didn't use them, unfortunately. On top of that, I had another amazing socks, which are like a membrane socks. They are forgot the name, but I'm going to put it on the video. But they are really good. They prevent, even if I was walking on the water, but on this trip actually I didn't. I wore them maybe once just to swap from the normal socks. But they are really good, like if you walk through water, like in autumn when I was hiking the same trail, was wet all the time. My feet were very dry, were very wet, and those socks kept my feet dry, and was a really good decision to have them. On top of that, I had like very thin, light, breathable Salomon trousers. Not sure what's the model, but they were really comfortable. But I wore them maybe twice when it got a little bit colder in the morning. But most of the time I wore my shorts. Also Salomon shorts. They were actually size extra large for better breathability and comfort. They were really nice. I wore them almost all the time. And probably next time for the summer, I wouldn't use my long trousers, just use those shorts. They are much more comfortable. And there was never that cold that I needed long trousers. So these are the socks as well, the inner socks. Okay. Also, I had two merino wool t-shirts. So one was, which is the Devolt brand, and it's a Breeze model, size medium. They're very nice. The Devolt t-shirts, the merino is very soft and don't cause any rashes or any discomfort when wearing just on the skin. And also they were very, very light. The breathability for those t-shirts are amazing. Really, really nice when it was really hot. They were like really performing really, really well. I had another little bit cheaper merino wool t-shirts, which is Chapeau, which is British brand, size medium as well, in the blue color. They were really good as well, but it's a little bit thicker and a little bit warmer. So when it was really hot, this t-shirt was a little bit too hot for me. Also, it doesn't reflect the light. So when I was wearing just this t-shirt, it was getting quite warm wearing this t-shirt. But it was good as a replacement for this t-shirt from the Devolt t-shirt. For the sun protection, I used this hiking shirt, which is Helicon Tex Polish brand. It's a mixture of different fabrics, and I was a little bit worried because it's not merino, it's artificial fabrics, but it was really, really good. It's quite breathable. Also, it's very good for wind. Every time there was a wind while hiking, this shirt protected me really, really well. I like the vents on my armpits, so it was very comfortable wearing this because the air was flowing through those vents. Also, I could keep it open and allow me to have the air just going through those between the buttons, which was pretty nice. This extended neck was covering my neck from the sun. For the sunglasses, I was able to clean my sunglasses with this attached glasses cleaner cloth, which is really, really handy. So I didn't have to have one. I always knew where it was, so it was very easy to find it and clean my sunglasses. I liked it a lot. I was going through bushes sometimes, climbing the rocks, and actually jumping through fences at some point, and didn't break, didn't rip or anything like that. It's just bulletproof. One thing that it was, when I was wearing it just on my skin, it started to stink. But wearing together with merino wool and then this shirt on top was really good. Actually was protecting me from the sun or the wind, just a little bit like a jacket would, but at the same time didn't stink at all. But remember, if you put this on your skin directly, it will stink very, very quickly. But I was really happy with this shirt. For colder nights, I had this merino wool jumper. Was also really nice to stay warm. And I had this band for like when it was cold. I could put it on my neck, on my ears, and also I used it when I was a little bit sleeping during the day. I used it as a blind, so I could have a longer sleep. So it was very versatile. Also made out of merino, really nice. So that was my first trip when I used lots of merino fabrics, and was really, really happy with it. It's just amazing how well it performed. I was keeping my clothes in this bag, so it was really nice, breathable. Could actually vent all the smells out and keep it fresh on my clothes. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention when it comes to my sleeping system is the pillow. It's the C2 Summit Areos pillow, ultralight regular. I didn't like it. I didn't like it that much. Was constantly moving away from my underneath my head. I had to chase it, kind of put it back, waking up because I was just had my head on my aluminium pad. So I didn't like it that much. That was the first and last time I used this pillow. Many YouTubers recommend this pillow. I don't like this pillow at all. Okay, what else? Maybe let's go to the rain protection. So I used my Frog Talks poncho. Actually, I didn't use it at all. I had it just in case. It was very hot and there was no forecast for rain. Actually, there were two small, like one big thunderstorm with lots of rain and one very small rain. But actually, I just stayed in my tent and I didn't use it during the day. But it was good to have it. It's also very, very light. It's very, very light, so it was very useful to have it as a backup. What else? Sun protection. I had this Odlo hat. Supposed to be very cool. It has this kind of white mesh fabric. It was okay, but it was too small. It was constantly falling off from my head. The good thing is that I could fold it. They had foldable this part, so I could put it in my pocket, and it was easy to put it there and take it off. But it was the first time and last time I used it. Unfortunately, it's just too small. But I had a replacement one for my second trip. I had really nice glasses. I don't know if there is a brand for them. Infinity. I think it's an Italian brand. But they were really nice. They look quite smart, almost. They don't look like a sports sunglasses. I had this kind of band. I added this band from Decathlon that allowed me just to keep it on my neck constantly. It was really good to have them ready. I didn't have to pack them and take them off. I didn't take the cover. I was just keeping everything in my pocket. So that's the sun protection. Also, I had the G-Shock Casio watch, which is really nice, very good to keep the time. Also, it's solar powered, so I didn't have to worry about running out of battery. I had G-Shock before, like a battery one, but I was keep on going for hikes or even just use them sometimes for other things. I would run out of power. This one will never run out of power, which is amazing. Okay, what's next? So I had a guidebook in this kind of waterproof bag, but I didn't use it that much. I would next time for my autumn part. I didn't take it, but this guidebook contains like a paper maps. I took off all the unnecessary pages and just kept the ones with the most interesting to me parts and the maps. But in the end, I just used my phone to navigate, and I didn't use the map at all. But I had the compass and other things with me. So let's go to have a look what I had. I have another this kind of mesh bag to keep those small items. So I had Nano Life Systems Nano First Aid Kit. I used this one. I took some things out that I didn't think were necessary, and I put some additional things, but I'm not going to cover it. It's just whatever I needed. But it's a really nice bag. It's very light. It was very useful to have it with me. I had this C2 Summit 15D Ultra Vis head net, which for mosquitoes. It was really good for example, when the mosquitoes were really biting and I was setting up my camp, setting up my tent. It was really amazing to have it with me and protect myself from the mosquitoes. What else? So I had a small bag with like a fixing bit. So there are like patches for my Thermarest pad. And some additional things like zip ties and other things to fix my gear. On top of that, I had the emergency blanket just in case I got really cold and had to wait to be rescued, so I could protect myself from the cold. Earplugs, just in case I was camping in place was really loud and I needed to sleep better. I had a headlamp, which is black diamond. I don't remember the model, but it's a black diamond, but like not battery operated, but has the battery built in, so which was really useful for me. A small compass. I had 40% DEET mosquito repellent. A little bit of thread, like a small line that was also quite useful. I had whistle, emergency whistle. Probably had to put it on my backpack, but I decided to have it there because it was constantly in a way. And I had like a small Swiss Army knife that had lots of things. For summer, very useful was the this thing to actually remove ticks. And also the scissors, like everything was actually very, very useful. It's super light. The knife is sharp and was very useful to actually use it on this hike. And what else? Some chewing gums. And this bag also had the electrolytes that were really useful when it was very hot. So that's pretty much it from this part. Actually, I had on top of that iWalk power bank, which is 9,000 milliamps. I really like this one compared to other power banks that has directly a plug to charge iPhone, so it has lightning port. And another thing is that you just press it twice on this button, and instead of charging in normal way, it will charge just 1 ampere. So in this way, the phone charges slower, but in my opinion, stays charged for longer, which was really good, instead of charging like a full power from this power bank. Of course, I had my iPhone 10, which I used for video filming. Also, I used my my Canon camera with a small tripod that I'm actually filming with at the moment. For those things, I had one charger with spare battery to charge. So it was Canon charger with battery pack. I bought this really nice, instead of normal cable, this kind of plug that allowed me to easily charge directly from the wall, and my normal standard iPhone charger. Okay, what else? So my C2 Summit bag for toiletries. So I had a small soap for washing, like bamboo toothpaste, toothbrush, like bamboo toothbrush, which is like a cut in half to save a little bit of weight, some toilet paper, some wooden ear cleaners, and this Sensodyne small, like a 15 milliliter toothpaste. So that's pretty much it. I like this bag because it was very easy to find because of the shape. I know probably it's not very ultralight, but it was very useful to have other different things in one place to always find it. It was really useful. Okay, what else? So maybe my cook system. So I had titanium spoon. I was thinking about titanium spork, but decided with the spoon was really good actually to eating soups, which was really useful. I got it from AliExpress. Was very cheap titanium spoon. I waited a little bit for it to receive it, but it was really nice. On top of that, I had I think 800 milliliter titanium pot with the lid. I was thinking about taking extra cup for tea, coffee, but I decided just to use this to drink tea and coffee. I usually like big coffees in the morning, so it was really useful. I had 100 milliliter Optimus canister for gas. And for this trip, I had like steel, very light gas stove that you screw in on. It's not titanium, it's actually steel. Later I got the titanium one, which was actually saved me a little bit more weight as well. I had different kind of hiking food. My favorite one was Mexican style scrambled eggs from LYO expedition. But I had different kinds of food with me and that I used for cooking on this trail. So I think that's it for for this gear loadout. Thank you so much for watching till the end. So I hope you found all those information useful. I'll be doing another gear loadout video covering all my fall autumn gear that I used on Eagle's Nest Trail. So please subscribe for future videos like this. Also like and comment, and I hope to see you soon. Take care.